Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to Dungeon Defenders. This game was built on UDK, which was the Unreal Development Kit, and it is a tower defense strategy. I don't even know. It's kind of difficult to explain. What it is you set up towers, and monsters will try and come attack your crystal, which is this right here. You can customize your crystal, but that's not that important. It doesn't actually affect any of your gameplay except for how things look. So, with that said, I guess we'll just jump right into it. This game is $15 on the Steam store, and if you are at all interested in tower defense games, or games where you defend something, then this is probably a game you're going to want to look into. So I'm just going to do survival here, which means that my game will be endless, and that probably means it will go slow for a while, and I may end up fast forwarding and or cutting things out. Cut things out, rather. So the first few rounds are going to probably be slow, and then after a certain amount of time, the waves should get to the point where it gets more interesting. Now, the thing with survival mode is it's endless, obviously, and it gets progressively more difficult, and I'm pretty sure it gets a bit more difficult every time you level versus playing without the survivor modifier. So the main objective of this game is literally just to defend your Eternia Crystal, which is what you're defending from orcs, monsters, pretty much anything that wants to kill it. How you do this is entirely up to you, depending on either what class you are or how you want to play. So I'm just going to set up, I have 200 mana, as you can see down in the corner, so I'm going to set up one tower on each side, just so I don't have to watch every side and try to kill everything myself. Now, I probably could if I wanted to, but it's a lot easier to put up towers. Now, as I said before, you can play this game however you want. Normally with the Apprentice, you're going to be a tower-dependent class, but you can specialize your character in any aspect that you want. You can have your character be like you could have them like not depend on towers at all, and all you do is just find the best staff with the best damage and the most health increase, and then you just kill everything by mowing them down with your lightning bolts or whatever projectile your staff shoots. Or you can play it as I like to play it, as a more strategic tower defense game, where you set up towers, and towers will kill the enemies that are trying to get to your crystal. Now, the nice thing about survival mode, and really this game in general, is that you can kill things even after they bypass your towers. So if a monster somehow gets through, which is very unlikely because this is the first round and I'm a bit too high leveled to actually be playing this at medium, it's just easier to play on medium for endless, because it is endless and it does get really hard after a certain point. But if they do bypass a tower, I can just run up to them and shoot them. So when more enemies come out, I can show you how that works. There's multiple ways you can play this, in the multitude of ways you can play this game. So you can either play it as I do normally, and that is how you have an over-the-shoulder type view, and you aim and turn around like your mouse. You can go into first person and shoot like this, or you can even go into a fixed camera type mode where it's fixed over your character, and you aim by clicking around your character. So instead of actually turning my character and aiming up and down, I aim at a distance. So let's say I wanted to shoot over here, and just click on aim over there. So you can really play this game however you want. So because I am a bit too high of a level to actually be playing this on medium, I'm just going to start this round, and maybe things will actually go by my towers, and while that happens, I'm going to pick up these chests. Chests will drop on an average 40 mana when you're playing in survival. If you're playing in the game mode that is strictly tower defense, you should get 80 from each chest, but I'm not entirely sure because I only played tower defense once and it was really late. And so as you can see, my towers, which are just level 1 towers, took out the enemies pretty quickly, and it's just waiting for the second wave. You can see how many enemies are left in your wave by looking up into the top right corner. And see what it says, 15 out of 27, that means 15 enemies have passed, and there are 27 enemies to kill, so that is, I guess, about 12 more enemies that are going to be running through this level until the next wave. As you can also see, I have a little bird kind of following right there, kind of follows me, and he will actually shoot at enemies and help me take them down, and he can also give me statistics that improve my towers. So I'm just going to run around and grab these, and as you can see, there are some items that actually drop from either enemies or from these chests that are in each corner on this map. And you can pick those up by pressing E, you can equip them directly by pressing F, and those are the default bindings. So if you remap it, obviously it is going to be different. The only downside of this game is that you cannot remap controls while you are playing the game. You have to remap the controls prior to starting the game, and that is actually going up and booting up the main menu. When you play, when you open the game, there's like a little box, and it says Dungeon Defenders, and then there's Play, Configure, and some other... I actually don't even know what the other tab is, but it's probably something about a forum or a wiki, something like that, I'm sure. Because there is so much in this game, it is unthinkable. You'd think it'd be really basic, and you just have towers and you set them up, but really, there's actually an entire trade system in this game. So, to the point where you pay people for items in the game with your in-game currency known as mana. Now, mana is very important. It is used to build up your towers, and it is also used to buy things in a shop or buy things from trade, etc. So, what did I set up over there? So I set up a magic missile tower, so I'll just set up another one right here. Just gonna pick up the rest of this mana. As you can see, the mana is the blue, green, red, or purple crystals that may be lying on the ground after every wave or during each wave. They drop from the chests, and they drop from enemies. And there they are. The main issue, the main enemy that is the most annoying in my opinion, that's probably just because I'm an apprentice and I build up towers and I'm tower dependent. As you can see, I haven't really shot it much and I'm just depending on my towers. There's these kind of guys, they're like suicide bombers. They will literally set like a giant TNT thing on their back on fire and just charge at your towers. They do a lot of damage, and if you're near it, then they will take you down with your towers. So, they are actually going to be coming in this round. I will show you what they are in just a second. I'm going to set up a tower here just so you can see what they actually do. Because if you set up towers and you don't set them up, like, if you only set them up in the middle, then they're just going to bypass your towers. But if I set it up here, then they're going to just run right into it and blow themselves up. So I can show you that. And also, I'm going to upgrade some towers here, which is going to increase the tower's statistics, such as attack, amount of health, amount of range, and fire rate. These are all really helpful, because it just pretty much makes the towers better, which is what you want, because when the enemies get more difficult, then it gets to be annoying when they start passing by and you have to kill them, but then they end up having a lot of health.